So 我们9月21号就是中秋节，农历就是8月15。Okay, September 21st is the actual Mid-Autumn Festival, and is actually the 15th day of the 8th month in the lunar calendar. Okay, so what is this festival all about? It really is a harvest holiday where families get together and give thanks to nature's abundance. So does that sound something familiar? 这个就是大家是收割以后，大家庆祝当年的收割，就跟西方的那个 Harvest Moon is really this one and the same thing. Okay, now Harvest Moon is the first full moon that's closest to the autumn equinox. Autumn equinox is usually September 22nd or September 24th. Okay, so whichever day the full moon is closest to that would be the harvest moon, which happens to be 中秋节 as well. Okay, so 中秋节就是在那个autumn equinox， 所以常常中秋节就会靠在这个时间。好了，那中秋节到底是怎么来的呢？在公元11个世纪以前，就是我们中国的叫是周代，那时候周礼上已经有说是中秋。So back in 11th century BC, the literature in Chinese has already mentioned about this mid-autumn thing. So at that time, it is something that the royals and would take this day to thank the moon goddess and thank for the harvest and so on. And it's later on the royalty and the scholars pick on this habit and they celebrate on that day. So 我们开始的时候是帝皇在那天来祭月，后来的贵族或文人也跟着在做。到了唐朝618的904那时期，才慢慢在民间开始有这个了。那时候，然后到宋朝到明朝的时候，就是14世纪到17世纪那时间，这一直到清朝，那个元旦这个中秋节就越来越重要，就跟元旦齐名，变的是中国4大节日之一。Okay, so this, as I said, it started way back in the 11th century. It was the realm for the kings and the nobles and the scholars. And then by 600 to 900 time frame during the Tang Dynasty, then the common folks began to realize, to appreciate that. And then to later on to the Song Dynasty and Ming Dynasty, eventually to the Qing Dynasty, it becomes so popular that it became one of the 4 major Chinese festivals. Okay? So here summarizing is from royalty to nobility and scholars and then to the common folks. Okay? And what people do is that they start as a religious ceremony, some kind of superstition, and then it become a ritual formality, and then eventually become festive and gathering and celebration and enjoyment. Okay, so 中秋节最先开始的是我们已经刚才说过是拜月拜神，现在呢大家来欢乐中秋节有很多名字。So many names, you can look at it yourself, but the most common ones for the Western world will be the Mid-Autumn Festival. The Mooncake Festival is probably the most common, and then of course also the Moon Festival. Right? All right, now let's go on to the customs. There are so many customs that I'm going to select a few of them. So one is appreciating and gazing and admiring and enjoying the moon. Okay, so it's 赏月，赏月就看月亮，大家讲故事看笑话大家吃东西So during this time, there's a lot of stories and riddles and eating stuff and so on. And it is a time for family and friends to gather. Okay, so a lot of times people, the families, if they are away somewhere, they will take this time and gather together. It's very analogous to the Thanksgiving here in the United States. The families would all come together on that day. So that's and it's a date for Thanksgiving and wishes. Okay, 就是团圆，大家聚在一起，全家人呢，大家好朋友啊，都聚在一起。那还有一样呢，就是吃月饼。那我们等一会再讲为什么要吃月饼啊。还有一个玩法呢，就是提灯笼。Okay, so playing with the lanterns. Okay, so here is a picture of my grandson playing with the lanterns. Okay, so there's the lantern. There's this grandson. Okay, that was back in 2016, I believe. And this is a picture of the traditional hanging the lantern. So people on high-rise buildings or in the houses and so on, they will hang a bunch of lanterns so everybody can see, and they're usually quite colorful. So 就是挂灯笼啊。Okay, so now 我知道最重要就是要吃东西啊。为什么要吃东西？昨天你们已经听了英国老师说吃很多东西。那主要的吃东西呢，就是说，因为这个是收成的时候，就是哪个时候有的吃到的东西，就是在这个中秋这个时候在吃。就是so you eat the seasonal fruits and produce, and there's so many of them, but I only want to highlight one or two. So one thing I do want to highlight is the 柚子 or the pomelo. So 柚子, if you say in Chinese, it would be 柚子 is blessing and protecting your kids. Okay, or you can also say 柚子. You would have children, you have. So in the Chinese thinking and the Chinese customs and philosophy is that the more offsprings you have, the better off you are. Okay, so that's why you want to have this 柚子. You want to eat it during the time. Another thing that's popular is 南瓜, pumpkins. Okay, so again, that's something that's available during this time of the year. So 为什么南瓜呢？也有很多故事，但是我今天不讲了。南瓜其中一个就是它是圆，而且它是黄黄的，就好像个月亮，又黄又圆。好了，我们现在讲讲。有很多传说这个中秋节怎么来。So there's a lot of stories and folklore about the Moon Festival. How does it come about? So one of the more popular ones is the 嫦娥奔月. It's about a story about the archer and his wife, or the princess 嫦娥. 嫦娥is a beautiful princess. So the story, and you will hear many different versions of the story, but here's my version. So years and years ago, before we know exactly when it is, all of a sudden, there were 10 suns that come up in the sky, and it created a lot of problems for those who can read Chinese, you can read the Chinese portion. Okay, so I'm going to skip the Chinese part. So they see there are a lot of suns in the sky, and of course the sun all burning at the same time. Scorched the land and people were miserable. It was hot. All the plants got die, the crops die, and so on. So then the king said that, well, no, we are really in trouble. So who can shoot down the sun? So one strong hero came out with his big archer. He went to the top of the mountain and started shooting. And lo and behold, he shot one and the sun came down. And then he shot another, it came down. And in a row, he shot down 9 of them. And at that point, someone said to him, stop. We got to have sun. We cannot have no sun. So he stopped. And so that's why there's one sun left. And then all the suns that came down, it turns out it was a firebird. Okay. And the story goes that the firebirds used to be very much under control. They would take turns to come up during the day and then go back at night. And then the next day will be second one come up. Then after a while, they finally decided, well, I want to be out and play. And then the other was that I want to see the whole play. Pretty soon, all 10 of them come out, and that's how this thing got screwed up. So that's why after the hero called Hou Yi, after he shot it down and remained only one son left, now this son knows that if he misbehaves, he will be in big trouble. So from here on, the son has behaved very well. But once this Hou Yi become the national hero, the king promised to marry his daughter to him, the beautiful princess. So Hou Yi later on become king as well after the king died. So Hou Yi become king, and when he become king, he began to think that, wow, this is nice. I'm king, I can order everything around, I have power. And then the power corrupted him, and he got to be a point where he become mean and not very nice to people. And then he also started thinking that I want to live for a long time. How about if I could live forever? So he went up to the mountain again, where he shot the suns down before, and over the mountain there are some, he can have access and closer to the gods. And the gods said that, well, since you were a hero and you helped mankind, here is an elixir that will give you long life forever. But you have to pick the right day to eat it, and that will have to be the day of the harvest moon. Okay, so or the night of the evening of harvest moon. And so he was very happy, took the pill, and then because he doesn't want to forget about it, so he asked his wife to keep it for him and give it to him on that day of the harvest moon. So his wife kept it, but then the wife started thinking, is that this guy is getting meaner and meaner. The powers has totally corrupted him, and he's becoming a very bad king. So I cannot see how it would benefit mankind if he lives forever. So I just can't give it. So she was fighting, having an internal struggle over herself. So finally, the day came, and Hou Yi went to him and said, "Give me the pill." And this wife said that, says, "No, should I give it to him? Should I not give it to him?" And he finally said, "No, I'm not going to give it." So she put it in her mouth and swallowed it. And so this king got really mad and chased after her in the right. And the queen ran, and pretty soon she started floating up, and she kept on running, and the guy kept on trying to chase him, and she went all the way up the moon. And the guy took out his arrows, but by that time, the magical power has left him. He couldn't even shoot the arrow anymore. So that's why the Shang'e is now the queen of the queen's moon, and she lives in the palace in the moon. Okay? Kind of a long story. So now there's also a story about, now how did these all stories come about is that when people and the families sit down and look at the moon, they start imagining what's up there and start telling stories, remember, stories and riddles. And people try to make up things and say, hey, there's something out there. It looks like a palace. It looks like somebody, well, in a palace, there must be something living there. And so these stories come about. And then some others said that, well, it looks like there's a rabbit there too. And they see the shape of a rabbit. So they start making up a story. And then someone will say, well, it looks like there's a tree and there seems to be a man doing something around the tree. So they come up with more stories. So here are two quick stories. So how does the story of the rabbit come about? Well, one story says the rabbit is very loyal to this Chang'e, okay? So, but the other more popular one is that there were three gods who were very hungry, and they came down to earth, and they saw a fox, a monkey, and a rabbit. So they said that we are so hungry, can you feed us something? And the fox and the monkey all gave them something to eat. Now, when it comes to the rabbit says, I don't have anything to give you. And so, but then the three gods will say that, but we're still hungry. So the rabbit says that, well, in that case, I can only offer myself. So the rabbit jumped into the fire and offered his own flesh to the gods. And the gods were so moved and so touched then they make the rabbit immortal and send the rabbit up to the moon to keep company with Chang'e. So that's how this rabbit come about. Now here someone says about, well, there's a man on the moon that seemed to be doing something against a tree. Well, the story goes that years, thousands of years ago, there was a man. Well, it's actually a person by the name of Wu Gang. Okay, so he actually became a god, but he became lazy and he did something bad. So the king of the gods banished him to the moon, where there's a great big laurel tree, and said that if you can cut down the laurel tree, then you can come back to the heavens and stay and become a god again with us. So this guy went up there, but this is a magic laurel tree. Every time he cut it, and it's about to fall down, the wound closes down, and so she keeps cutting it. So he's been now doing it for thousands of years. He's still up there cutting it. So again, these are imaginations. Okay? So now this is the story I really want to talk about, is that in the, you all heard about the Mongols taking over China, okay? And the Mongols took over China, and when they took over China, they become the Yuan dynasty. And during the Yuan dynasty, the Mongols had absolute rule. They were very mean to the Han people, the Chinese. So there's a lot of discontent, and people try to resist, but the Yuan Mongols were so powerful, they crushed all the rebellions. Now there's one group of people, underground group, that are very much against the Yuan dynasty, but they were kind of masking themselves as a religious society where they pray and they fast, and they don't eat meat and so on. So they call themselves Ming Jiao, okay, the Ming Religion. And there's a small little character in this Ming Jiao, a small little leader called Zhu Yuzhang. And this guy decided that maybe we ought to do something so we can get all the people together and on one particular day to rebel against the Mongols. And so he, one of his advisors suggested that since the Hans are the people that would appreciate the moon harvest, and they would eat things and they will gather together on that night. The Mongols don't do that. They don't know about this festival. So why don't we slip little pieces of paper in the mooncakes, and then we'll distribute the mooncakes to all the people. And then and in the mooncake, there's a little slip of paper that says that on the during this the night of the moon festival, 8月15号, the 15th day of the 8th, we will all gather whatever weapons we have, and we'll kill the Mongols. And then if you are with us and you got the message, hang a lantern on in your yard, and also try to hang some flags that shows the moon and the sun. That will symbolize this religion that you are with us. So lo and behold, a whole bunch of people got the message, and on that particular night, they all get up and they defeated the Mongols. So then this guy, the guy that started this whole thing, decided that, well, he wants to be now the new emperor, but then since he was a small little character in this whole organization, he was concerned that other people would not listen to him. So in order to placate everyone, he called his dynasty, the new dynasty, the Ming dynasty, which comes from the Ming religion. Okay, and then he also says that we want to remember how we got all started. So he said that on this day we will eat mooncakes, okay, to remember how this thing started, and we will also hang the lanterns. Okay, so that's how the mooncakes and lanterns came about. Now, I also said that we have riddles. So here I have a few riddles. And the riddles are things that people make up. They look at it and they make up some riddles. So I make up one riddle and I try to see if anybody know how to do it. So 外面有月亮，里头也有月亮，猜中秋节赏月的时候吃的东西。So there's moon outside and inside. So there's a food on Mid-Autumn Festival. Who gets that? Who has that?
Please raise your hand. 请举手，如果你知道答案。If you know the answer, please raise your hand.
Okay, I'm going to keep on going. You guys can think about it. So here I make up another one. Okay. So 屁股大，脑袋尖。Okay. 赏中秋节赏月吃的水果。So there's a big butt and a small head. It's a common fruit for Mid-Autumn Festival. Hint, hint, I talk about those. Okay. So if you know it, raise your hand. Now here's one. This one is going to be tough.
Oh.
Whoever gets this one, everyone should applaud. Okay. So this one says it's a mixture between Chinese and English. So it says Rang Si. And it's the name of a popular Chinese dish. Now, who can get that?
Please raise your hand.
Can anyone see that at all? Can you see any hands? Pinky and okay. No.
No.
Right. Well,
people shaking their head. Oh, fences.
Yes.
The first one is either 双黄月饼、双黄莲蓉月饼 or 蛋黄月饼.
Very good.
The second one, somebody answered at chat box already.
It's the pumalo, isn't it? Second one, pumalo.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I said, that the first one is the 蛋黄月饼. Okay, so here's the 月饼, here's the 蛋黄. So there's the moon inside, the moon's inside. And of course, when you're eating it during the moon festival, the moon is outside. And then the 屁股大脑袋小. These are the pomelos. Look, there's a big butt and a little head. Okay. So now this other one is going to be tricky. So this one, has anyone guessed it yet? Have we seen anyone?
Crab.
No? Crab? No. Okay, so I'm going to review it. It is this dish. Okay.
圓體啊.
What is this dish? It's 東坡圓體. Okay. So why that? Rang is 圓. Okay. Si is corn, or in 廣東話體. So the two together, 圓體. So 圓體. Okay. So why do I say that? Okay. Because I want to lead to a thing called 東坡,蘇東坡. So there's a character, there's a famous person. Back, he was born in 1101 and died in 1101. Born on 1037, died in 1101. And he is a famous scholar, a politician. So he, when he was drunk he was also very outspoken, and during his time, there was a government reform going on, and he was very outspoken against the reformers who are doing things too much in a hurry, and he thought it was the wrong approach, and then he got banished. And so while he was there, he also has a brother who is 2 years younger. And his brother was also a famous scholar and a politician. And in fact, his brother became a prime minister later on. So his brother and him are very close, and they are both very good scholars, and they have their ideas and so on. And they're both against this reform. If you don't do it right, they think that it will cause more trouble. So this guy supposedly Su Xi, and his nickname is Su Dongbo. Okay. Now, why do we say 東坡肉? Is because while he was banished, he was very sad and very unhappy. So his wife feel sorry for him and make special dishes. Okay. So one of the dishes she came up with and invented was this dong bo rou, okay? And this is use a piece of pork and have that steamed and then braised and so on. So and he just loves it. So then later on, other people cooked it the similar way. And in order to recognize him and give him credit, they call it dong bo rou. But actually it's his wife that came up with the dish. So it should be dong bo wife's rou, okay? So anyway, and he, as I said, he was Spanish, and while he was Spanish, he supposedly in one of his drunken moments on the 中秋节, he composed the following poem, okay? And this particular poem, supposedly he put this whole thing together because he was really wishing that he could be with his brother and they could be enjoying the moon together. And now, if I cannot believe that's how it happened, the story says that that's how it happened. Now, imagine if you are totally stone drunk, okay, and you are still clear enough to be able to put together such nice prose, such nice poem. I don't think that's possible. Okay, I don't think he's really drunk. But according to his own words, is that he was drunk and he wrote this together. So by drunk, I think what it really means was that it was figurative speaking. He was longing for the days he was in power in the capital. So and being drunk is just a excuse to put this together. And the poem, if you read in between the lines, you will find that he was really talking about what's going on in the capital in the country. So here it is, the translation for the poem. 明月几时有? When did the bright moon appear? 把酒问青天. One raises a cup and asks the clear sky. So why do you even want to ask that? Because it's happened there all the time. You ask it, what good does it do? So I don't think, so this is just kind of his way of saying, I'm asking, how is the capital? What's going on at the capital city? Okay? So I wonder if in the celestial palaces, what year is this evening? So again, he's saying, well, what is the point of asking what year it is? Because you already know what it is. So he's really talking about in the palace, in the physical palace, not in the celestial palace. What's going on? Okay, who's in power? What's going on? So he said, I wish to ride the wind and return there, and I'm afraid at the J towers, in the high dwelling, one cannot bear the cold. One cannot bear the cold. So here he's saying that he's saying literally would be, I want to go there, return there. Well, he's not from there anyway. He's not from the heavens. So he wants to return to the heavens. And up there in the heavens, it will be very cold. And so can I really stand it? And what he's really longing for is that I wish to be able to be back at the capital again, right next to the emperor, to be in charge, to be in power. But this is such a cold environment. People are fighting each other and so on. I'm not sure if I can really stand it. So he's kind of wondering and fighting within himself, even though he wants to be back there, but he's not sure he should be back there. So then he says that I am in a mortal world. He's now back to the real world. I'm in the mortal world and moving around the pavilion, lowering the silk door. So here he's really talking about he's moving around, he's dancing around, he's going around the pavilion, and he's looking and lowering under. It's really saying that the moon is moving around the sky, okay, and it's moving around the building and shining through as the moon goes up and down, as the moon comes down, it's shining through the windows, below the windows. So he's now back to kind of the real world. Okay, and then it says that one shouldn't complain. Why is the moon always through a separation? So he's again, now he's saying that, well, you know, we are separated. Why, how come that the moon is separation? Moon means symbolizes being together, but how come we are separated? Now he's referring to his brothers, okay? We're brothers. So is that, well, people always have sorrow, joys, parting, and reunions, and the moon would also go from dark, turns dark, and waxes and wanes. So people should be able to separate and be able to get together again. So, so how I wish that we could stay well and healthy, and then we could enjoy each other's company and enjoy the moon. So this is what this poem is all about, okay? And now at this point, I want to show this particular poem is supposed to be sung. So at this point, I want to share with you a song sung by a famous artist, Deng Lijun, popularly known as Teresa Teng. And this is not one of her famous songs, but I want to pick this song for the reason because of the Moon Festival. Okay, so that was the last words that she says. Can Juan, the very last two words. Can Juan is another name for Sang, which symbolizes the moon. So that's why we're saying that we can share the moon together. Okay, so let me go back to share screen again. So kind of, you know, since I introduced Deng Lijun, so I thought we'll just get to know her a little bit better. Well, unfortunately, she's passed away already. She's died in 1995. She's commonly known as Teresa Teng. One of the things that she's famous for is that she kind of make Mandarin popular music really popular. So they call it the Mando pop. Right? And she remains a cultural icon of Taiwan, Hong Kong, mainland China, Chinese-speaking communities worldwide. Most of the Eastern countries knew about her. And one of the interesting things about her is that not only can she sing in Mandarin, she can sing in Cantonese, she can sing in Taiwanese, she can sing in Japanese, she can sing in English, and all very well. And one thing I also learned is that she actually went to University of Southern California sometime back, which is another interesting fact. All right, at this point, I want to take the time to talk about a few peculiar customs. So one of the customs is that they talk about on the night of the full moon, on this particular full moon night, the longer you stay up, the better off you are, is because you're going to live a longer life. And particularly for the girls, if they stay up late, they would make sure their mothers would have a long life. So all you girls up there, all you women out there who have mothers still alive, please stay up late so your mothers can have a really long life. Okay? So the second thing is another interesting thing is that you steal vegetables, you steal things on that night. So the idea here is that if you are an unmarried girl, an unmarried woman, and if you go to your neighbors or whoever, the farmer's place, and you steal the veggies or the chong, the green onions, and if you do that, if you are successful in doing that, you will marry a very nice guy. Okay? So that's one thing that some people believe in. And then if you are married, but you don't have any kids and you would like to have kids, then you go to somebody's they farms and you go try to steal a pumpkin or gua, okay? And then you are likely going to have a big fat baby. Okay. Now there are also a few don'ts. So for example, we talk about praying to the moon goddess. Well, that's a territory for the women only. The men don't pray for the woman goddess. Okay, and then the other one more thing is that the women with long hair, you want to make sure that you separate your hair so it doesn't cover your eyes and cover your face. Your bangs are not too far down, because if you do that, it will cover up your 神灯, okay, your God's the holy eye. So you don't want to do that. And then the other thing is that when you eat things on that day, like when you eat mooncakes or you eat fruits and so on, you would like to have things that are round, and you don't. So for a mooncake, you don't want to cut it up and just eat the pieces. You want to cut it up but still form it into a shape that looks like a round shape. It can be separated, it can be spaced out, but still round. Same thing with the fruit. You cut it up, but you space it out so they're still round. And then there are a few other places. So different places have different customs. For example, in the Chinese mainland right now, there are some places that said that they intentionally leave the doors open with food and everything in there, and then encourage people to come in and steal the food from them. And the more food and fruits that they steal, the happier they are. They feel that they are that in some way they are helping as many people as they can. So in Hong Kong, there's a lot of lights. In Korea, they would go to the ancestors' ancestors to pay respect to their ancestors. In Japan, they would like to eat the round things, in this case, the mochi. And in Vietnam, they would play with, the kids would play with little lions, and they would play with lanterns that are made with in the shape of a fish. Okay, so the idea here is that they will grow up strong. They will also be able to be prosperous. 跳龙门. And then in the Philippines, they would have all kinds of lights, and they will eat the mooncakes. Either they make it themselves or they import it from other places. Malaysia, one of the important things is the lanterns. So remember the 月饼 and lantern all over the place. That's a common thing that everybody celebrates. And then in Singapore, they will fight for mooncakes. Okay. So that's kind of it. And I use up 40 minutes. And I think that Pinky wants to save the time for other activities. So Pinky, I'm turning it back to you.
Thank you, Teacher Andrew. We learned so much about the Moon Festival event, not Lunar New Year. We're not there yet. Thank you, Cynthia. And I want to highlight some people joining us here from BC, Canada, British Columbia. We have people joining us from Fresno. And again, Rose Kiner Center in Mountain View. Thank you. Hope you guys are doing well. And we also have people from East Bay, Fremont. Thank you, Connie. And it's just so wonderful to see everyone here and joining us from around the world. Thank you, Eleanor and Wendy, reaching out to your end in Canada. So here we would like to invite all of you. We have our fall program coming up. If you would like to learn more about our learning Chinese culture in America, follow our popular teacher, Andrew. Don't forget to sign up. Our fall program starts on October 14th. every Thursday 10 to 11。如果你想要在学习跟我们张老师学习多一点的中国文化风俗的介绍的话呢，请不要错过我们10月14号我们每个周四会在网上碰面，有这样子的课程。Without our special sponsor, Julie, Deborah, and also other donors, we will not be able to have so many other fun events. For example, Raffle, and also Mooncake Pickup. Those of you sign up and join our program today and also yesterday, we would like to invite you for a Mooncake Pickup. It's going to be, for those of you actually already know, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow when? It's what time? 1 to 3 o'clock while supply lasts. So it's an outdoor event. So you can also pick up mooncake. Plus, you have another raffle ticket to pick up. So the raffle ticket is going to be a Halloween karaoke party. So on that day, we're going to do another round of raffle. Thank you, Deborah, Sen, and thank you, Julie, and other donor to sponsor us another round of raffle. It's going to be online event. You sign up now till October 25th. Before raffle, I want to say Effie is going to become a full-time student. So we really thank you, Effie, everything you've done for our community. We wish you all the best. 我们谢谢 Effie， 因为她要全职变成学生，那所以她会在9月30号就是最后一天工作。那可是呢，我们希望很不久的将来，我们可以很快看到她。然后祝你一切顺利哦 ，Effie。Give a round of applause to Effie.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's fun working here. And I guess it's my turn for the lucky raffle. Are you guys ready? So today, I'm going to have our host, Teacher Andrew, to, help me to do this raffle. First thing first, the rules, right? So probably you already know we will have 3 winners for 25 Amazon gift cards, and you must be 50 years old. If you don't see your name, maybe you are too young, sorry. Or maybe you didn't register before September 8th, so you won't see your name either. And also we need a valid email address so we can send you the gifts. Okay, really quick in Chinese. I know you guys cannot wait. 那我们会抽出3位25块钱的亚马逊礼品卡。今天呢，我会请我们的 Andrew 老师来帮助我一起抽奖。然后呢，如果您太年轻了，还不到50岁，或者你不是9月8号之前登记的，那你的名字可能就不会在这个 will 上面出现了。那希望下一次尽早联系我们登记。另外，我们需要您的这个邮箱地址，因为我们要把这个礼品送给你，好吗？那现在我换一下我的 screen and let's get ready for the
Okay.
你的名字 call your name out. Come on.
All right. Effie, hit it. 1, 2, 3, hit it.
Yay. Go, go, go.
Go, Rosliner! Go, Rosliner!
Go, 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 go.
Yes.
Oh.
Keep going.
Hey, I think I see Sue, right? Sue?
Sue is
Sue's
here.
Sue, can you raise your hand?
Oh, Sue. Hi, congratulations, Sue.
Sue,
好，我们恭
congratulations.
喜 Sue.
Yeah, by the way, the wheel is slow. Also my side as well. I think the internet is
It's probably my computer.
it's my computer too, and I see it very slow.
Okay, we'll try again.
Okay, we have 2 more chances.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yoo-hoo.
还是那么慢。叮叮叮叮叮叮叮。
Oh, don't go by L. Where's L?
叮叮叮叮叮。
Whoa!
Oh, why, thank you. I can't believe it.
Where are you?
I can donate just
Congratulations, Kim.
Kim, beautiful background. Thank you so much. Look at this background. Thank
So
you.
we have one more, right?
Yeah, we have last one, guys.
Okay, good luck. 3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay, 2.
The last.
Sunny, you're so cute.
Stella Wu.
Oh,
I know
hi,
she's
Stella
there.
Wu. You're
I'm
here.
Okay, congratulations.
I'm here.
Stella.
Would you able to say hello to us, Stella?
Yes. Hello. I'm glad to be joining your organization. It's great.
Whoa, you're
Thank you.
outside.
Congratulations, Stella.
Thank
Would
you. Thank
From
you.
Baltimore.
Make sure you are qualified, and you look so young to qualify, by the way.
Oh,
So thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for joining. And I would like to see a round of hand. How many of you enjoyed the event today? Please raise your hand. Oh, everyone. Wow. Wow. And then I want to, thumbs up too. Good. The other question I would like to ask is, how many of you planning to come over and pick up your mooncake and raffle tickets on tomorrow between 1 to 3? So look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. 大家中秋节快乐. So here, thank you everyone for joining around the world. Give a round of applause to our team, our instructor, our volunteers, our participant, and our donor, Julie and Deborah, and then all the donors. Thank you so much for sponsoring us. And then also our guest host, teacher Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you.
谢谢 Pinky，大家中秋节快乐。
Yeah, that's
谢谢 Julie。